Hello ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. This is Force with some more Friday Night Magic. Today we will be playing Dodge and Burn. This is a control deck that is all about delaying your opponent, removing anything on their board, and then just finishing them off with some burn and some crazy effective creatures like these Charm Breaker Devils. This hand here is okay. It's not fantastic, but it's a little more late game than I'd like, but I think we're just going to keep it anyways because we do have a nice mana distribution. We have 3, one of which is a mountain. We could use a second mountain for the volcanic fallout, but we do also have the remand, which is going to help us delay the opponent's plays, and that's going to be the game plan. We remand some early plays. We draw into cards with the remand, plus obviously our card draw every turn, and oh gosh, target opponent discards a card. Alright, I think we will get rid of... He's choosing? There's only one opponent. You just need to choose me. I think we'll get rid of one of the islands, I guess. I don't know. I mean, this is actually tough. I might want to just get rid of one of the Charm Breaker Devils. Because I don't know if I'm going to draw into enough lands to even play any of these... I guess we'll get rid of an island. It might have been smarter for me to get rid of one of the Charm Breaker Devils though, but because I'm playing against some black, this means that I could be dealing with removal, hard removal, and so having the second Charm Breaker Devil might be worth it. Unfortunately, I've just got some heavy drops in my hand. I've got 3 6-drops, which I won't be able to play anytime soon. So this is really tough. This is really tough. Alright, let's see what he's going to try to do this turn. If he tries to play anything even... Okay, the Mind Rot has to be remanded. It's just going to come through again next turn. But maybe this will give us an opportunity to draw into a counterspell. I don't know. I don't know. This gives us an opportunity to potentially draw into a counterspell. That Mind Rot is going to hurt a lot, though. No matter what he picks, it's going to be painful. Alright. So what I'm going to do is when he Mind Rots, I'm probably going to Cerebral Vortex in response. Just to replace some of that stuff. Although he probably won't get rid of the Vortex. I'm gonna wait till after his Mind Rot, because he probably won't get... Alright, I'll have to discard 2 cards. Let's see here. I think we just have to get rid of these 2 late drops. That's it. I think we just have to get rid of those 2 late drops. Alright, before he passes the turn over, I'm going to Cerebral Vortex myself. I'll draw some cards, I'll lose some life. But I need some options here. Because this has been sort of a rough going to start. Alright. So I've got the Electrolyze I could do as an instant. I also have the Cancel. We'll be waiting on to do anything until the opponent's turn at this point. So we're playing against, he's got some creatures, but it's pretty much more control focused. You know, he's forcing me to discard and do all this stuff and just pinging away. If he does nothing else, we're gonna Electrolyze. Okay. Stop his slowly withering at my health total. Okay, so now we've got some counters we can do. You know, we have the Cancel. If we get one more land, we'll be able to Draining Welk. We've got the Charm Breaker Devils, which if they stay in play will be gigantic for us. Although again, he's running black, we expect hard removal, so even if I get him in play, he probably won't stay in play. And now at this point, it's all just sort of wait out the opponent. I actually don't even want to play this right now, because he could just counter it or hard removal it next turn. The fact that he played nothing last turn with so many lands, I'm just gonna We can probably out-sustain him more than he can do so to us. He's gonna try to play the Archaeomancer. We're gonna Draining Welk that, actually. So this is gonna put 4 1/1 counters on it, turning it into a 5/5. That would have let him pull back the Mind Rot. But it's more importantly, this is giving us a big creature on play and potential target for removal. Let's see if he has it. He didn't use it on that. That makes me really happy. For that reason, I'm gonna play a Charmbreaker. Okay, he's actually going to... He gives it... What? Just -3/-3? Okay. It's only until the end of the turn, though. That's really weird. Alright, so we're gonna move into combat. I was not about to counter that, that's for sure. There we go. There you go. Okay. And I think we're just gonna play the Charmbreaker Devil right now. So what's gonna happen now is it's a 4/4. During my upkeep, it randomly pulls an instant or sorcery from my graveyard in my hand. If he's got removal, he'll be choosing one of the two. Looks like he's gonna Time Ebb. He's gonna choose this. Does he also have removal for this? If he doesn't, he's in trouble. He's gonna be taking a lot of damage. He doesn't. Okay, so insert sorcery randomly from my graveyard to my hand. We ended up getting the Remand. Let's see here. Alright, well, I think I could Volcanic Fallout with my push, turning this into 8 damage. I might actually do that. Okay, so we're gonna move into the attack. I'm gonna attack. What is going on? UI's acting super buggy. See if he does anything in response. He doesn't. I'm gonna Volcanic Fallout. It's gonna do 2 damage across the board and to the players. It's also gonna pump this up to 8 damage, which is exactly why I'm doing it. It's not so much for the removal, because obviously there's nothing in his... He has no creatures in play to remove. It was to pump this up +4/+0 and get an extra 2 damage to his face. This is really good. Now if he tries to play removal for this, I can counter it. He's gonna play Guildmage. I can keep that in play because I can just Starstorm through it. So I'm not gonna counter that. Because I can just Starstorm, which will clear that, and then I can still push him for the kill. This will not be an effective blocker. He's going to force me to discard a card. Okay, that's fine. I'll discard a Remand. I don't care. And so we have the win. Just like that. Alright, during the upkeep, pull this back. Pull an instant sorcery back. Looks like we end up getting the Remand. And then we go combat phase. Before he declares blockers, we Starstorm for 2. Dealing 2 damage to all creatures, also pumping him up to 8 damage, killing his blocker, preventing him from blocking. 8 damage goes through, and there's the victory. Okay, game number 1. Secured the victory. Let's do a second match. And our next game is against Hermes. Hermes. I don't even have anything clever to say about that. Oh, I guess I really don't ever say anything clever. This opening hand is not good. 2 mountains, not gonna do it. We could Earthquake, yes. We've got nothing to do any one of those. Oh, we would need to... No. Let's draw a new hand. I'm just not super thrilled with that hand. This hand is okay. Yeah, we'll keep it. We'll go ahead and keep it. A couple reasons why. Number 1, we do have the Cerebral Vortex for some card draw. We also have the Compulsive Research. Target player draws 3 cards, then discards 2, unless he or she discards a land. As you can see... Excuse me! As you can see, we have got lands to discard. So Compulsive Research will be a great play for us. So we've got the card draw. We don't have any of the early removal or counter, but with all of this card draw come turn 3, I feel pretty okay about this. Although we're gonna need to play something prior, otherwise we'll be forced into discarding actually, so, actually. There's a Kiln Fiend. Alright, so we're playing against the aggro deck here. He's gonna be pushing with some heavy damage pretty early on. Plays instant sorceries, pumps that guy up, and hits me in the face. This is also the deck running We Dragonauts. based on, you know, seeing that. That's sort of what we're going to expect from him. So this would be interesting. I've got a ton of removal. I've got a ton of mass damage across the board. All we need to do is draw into one of them, and we're good to go. We're ready to rock. That's all we need. There's a bunch that I can deal 3 damage across the board with, so it'll be time for card draw. Unfortunately, we're gonna have to discard a bunch. Oh, this is so painful. All right. We are going to compulsive research. We're still gonna have to discard 2 though. Actually, yeah, we're still gonna have to discard 2. I'm actually going to, well, we'll hold on to that. Let's get rid of this and this. So we had to discard 2 because we had to get down to 7, because that's the max hand size in this game, so. All right. So we are going to, he's gonna hit us really hard right now. Next turn, we can actually only do it for 2. We could shoot, this is not good though. He's gonna char, dealing 4 damage to me, pumping both of these guys up. This is so painful. This sucks. We need an extra turn to Starstorm enough. So I guess maybe we just electrolyze his Kiln Fiend. I guess that's just our play. This is really rough. He's such a huge early jump on us here. And really nothing we can do. You know, my other option is to just save for the counterspell, which prevents him from pumping those up. So it looks like we're just gonna sit on this hand right now. I can only Starstorm for 2 across the board. But what we can do is we can counterspell whatever he tries to play for damage. Which prevents pumping these guys up. That can't be countered if it's 5 or more, but it's not going to be 5 or more here. So I should be able to Thought Bind it, I believe. Although he's... And then he's got removal for it as well. He's got a counter for my counter, doesn't he? I'm assuming he is a counter for my counter. Change the target of target spell with another single target. What is he gonna choose to target it with? He can't choose no target, can he? Can he really choose no target? That's crazy. Alright, well he secures the victory pretty well here. So there's game number 2. Let's move on to a third match. That was such a disappointing loss. It died so quickly. He pushed so much damage out so fast. Kinda crazy. Kind of a bit crazy, I have to be honest. Let's see here. This hand's actually okay. So I'll go ahead and keep it. Because I do have some early game removal and or card draw with the Electrolyze. No counter spells though. So we'll have to see here. Okay, it's a Scoop Mob. So 1/1 gets pumped up at the beginning of his upkeep if he controls 5 or more lands. So I'll be able to get rid of that with the Electrolyze very soon before he can pump that up too much. So this is a ramp deck. He's going to be ramping up lands, getting a bunch in play really fast. And then his creatures get pumped up as a result. Oh, so happy. We're going to be able to pop off both of these. These are both terrifying creatures if they stay in play. But luckily we've got the answer for them. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh, that makes me so happy. Alright, here it is, Electrolyze. Do it both right now. Bam, bam. Get the card draw off of it. doing it now instead of during his turn, because once he untaps, he could potentially have pump-ups for his creatures that would prevent them from dying to the Electrolyze, so that's why I did that during my turn. He's gonna play the Kavu-Titan. It's a 2/2. If it's kicked, comes into play with 3/1/1 counters and has trample. That's a very scary creature if it does come into play that way. I could Electrolyze it, or I could just wait and Silphur's Blast for when he has another creature, which I think I'll probably do. I think I'll wait and I'll do a Sulphurous Blast during his turn once he has another creature. If he plays another one that's small, or if he plays a creature that has 3 health, I can Sulphurous Blast during my turn for 3. So let's see what happens here. Swings me for 2, okay. If he plays nothing, I'm gonna, okay. If he plays nothing, I'm gonna Electrolyze his creature. Just like this. 2 damage to it. Get the card draw. Is he really gonna pump it up? Yep. Alright, well then I can just kill it in an upcoming turn with Sulphurous Blast, so at least that wasn't used to damage me. Wow, we've got a lot of Sulphurous Blast, don't we? Alright. So we're gonna pass the turn, just hope he plays another creature so that we can blast. Plays this, it has Undying, so it'll come back after we blast, but then I can blast again. Is that all he's playing? Okay. We're gonna blast before that damage hits us then. His creature with Undying will come back. But we can blast again. So, this is it. This is what we do. We delay. And we eventually try to win into the late game. Now we do have the Reins of Power, which lets me take the opponent's creatures until end of turn and attack him with them. Although, you know, not a whole lot's going on here, so we'll have to see. And I don't necessarily have any win conditions right now. Plays a 1/1. Creatures with power can't be blocked. Whenever a creature enters the battlefield under your control, put a 1/1 counter on this creature. Okay, that's fine. Let's see if he tries to play anything else pre-combat. If he doesn't, we're going to Sulphurous Blast again. Okay. In response to his attack, Sulphurous Blast. Clear the board. And we've got another one! We still have another one. Thankfully, because we're not necessarily close to winning this game. The Banefire is a lot of times the win condition. We've got a Reins of Power plus the Banefire, so we could be winning with that sort of a combo. We'll have to see. I hope he plays a big creature this turn. I can Reins of Power it, attack him with it, and then the turn after Banefire? Nothing, okay. Where are our counter spells too, man? All right, so we've got 8 lands in play, so that's a Banefire. That's a Banefire for 7. This is so crazy. What is going on? Nothing's happening for either one of us. No one's doing a thing. He's probably just assuming that I have counter spells, which is a good assumption, but don't tell him that I don't. Don't tell him that I don't have any counter spells. Here's a Bramble Crush. He's gonna destroy one of my lands. That's fine. Not gonna counter it. Well, I don't have a counter, so I couldn't if I wanted. Don't. Okay, there's the counter. There's what he's been worrying about. And now we just sit back, basically, and we just kind of hang out for a while. That's basically it. We just kind of sit back and we hang out. Looks like we're just playing past the turn, see who plays something first, which is not gonna be me. There's 10 lands, so we can Banefire for 9. We're getting there. We just need 7 more lands and we can just win with a Banefire. Force Walk. Attacks or blocks, put a 2/2 into the battlefield with Forest Walk. It's a 5/5, so I can take that from him. I can attack him with it. And then I can pull with the Banefire. That'd be 5 damage to him. And then I can do 2 more with that. Okay, let's actually let it stay in play. I'm gonna let him keep that, because we're gonna Reigns of Power it during our turn. Okay. Alright, so Reigns of Power. Taking his creatures. Okay. It gets haste. Alright. And then I go combat phase. Attack him for 5. We also get a 2/2 in play under our control, so we're gonna keep that. I think this will be a way for us to win. So he gets his creature back, right? Now we have a blocker. We can Sulphurous Blast before the end of the turn, which will do 2 damage to everyone. Okay, that's fine. We can Sulphurous Blast, which will do 2 damage to everyone. And then we can just kill him, because we've got enough lands to do it. So, Sulphurous Blast, 2 damage to everyone. This brings him down to 9. Wow. What a crazy way to win. Banefire for all the damage. To player. To him. Yes! Yes, sir! Yes, sir! All right, my friends, that is gonna do it for this episode of Friday Night Magic. Let's go ahead and take a look at the deck list. It's been in flux. I ended up making a few adjustments along the way, but we've got the 2 Pongifies to remove, and then just basically a bunch of mass removal, and the idea is to most times win with the Banefire, although we've got a few other creatures too. So we've got the Earthquakes, removal of ground creatures, Banefire, a lot of times a good game finisher. It can't be countered if it's 5 or more. You've got the Swerve, changing the target of 1 spell with another single target. That can be very effective against someone targeting me or anything like that. The Remand as a counter spell, but it also just sets the opponent back. It gives us a card draw. Memory Lapse, which is also a counter spell, puts it on top of their library instead of the graveyard though, so it sets them back a turn in the sense that they don't get that card draw that they would have otherwise got. They get the thing they were just trying to play, and they're tapped out for the turn, if it's early game typically. Starstorm for mass removal to all creatures. Searing Spear, target removal. Electrolyze, target removal. Picking things off. Cancels for counterspell. Thoughtbind for counterspell. Mass damage with Volcanic Fallout. Reigns of Power. You saw how effective that can be in the last game. Very also effective against some Swarm decks if they've got a bunch of creatures in play. And we've managed to damage them a little bit early on. We can push through some extra damage with that. Sulphurous Blast, 4 of those because it's kind of awesome. Future Sight for card draw and revealing the top card of my library. Draining Whelk, which is counterspell, but can also be a very big, scary creature for the opponent to deal with. Gathering Specimens, steal an opponent's creature as they try to play it, is what that is. And then opportunity for some card draw. All right, guys, that is it. Thanks so much for watching this episode of Friday Night Magic. Tune in next Friday for another episode. And as always, keep watching and keep owning.